what I'm planning to do tomorrow is go from Bradwell Marina out of the mouth of the Blackwater, up the Colne, past Brightlingsea, all the way to this creek, which is Alresford Creek, I think it's pronounced. So I want to catch the ebb tide out of the Blackwater and the flood tide up the Colne. So low water for the Blackwater is about 11:30 here. So I want to get here for 11:30 and then catch the flood tide going up. So that means I need to leave Bradwell about 9:30, assuming that 9:30 or so, assuming that takes a couple of hours. Other thing I have to consider is, the channel goes out past the Benchhead and Colne Bar buoys here, but I've got a shoal draft boat, so I should be able to cut the corner off quite considerably. The only thing is, it is low tide, and this especially gets Mersea Flat, dries out, and the Cockham Hills here, some areas of this are pretty shallow, so I just need to keep an eye on the depth. There are a few spots which dry out by the look of it, so I just need to keep a close eye on the depth, and I need to stay away from this wreck marked by the East Cardinal there, the Molliette wreck, I think it is. The other thing is, it's not going to be very windy according to the forecast, so I might end up it's going to be not windy early on, so I might end up just drifting down here, or maybe I'll have to motor. I'll see, but that's the plan. I've just motored for about half an hour or so. What a racket. But I've got an hour till low tide, and I've only got a couple of miles to go. Anyway, so I keep on motoring. I'll get there before low tide, which I don't really want to do. So I thought I'd just drift down with the tide for a bit. It's very peaceful and not a breath of wind. Don't know if you can see, but there's the Gunfleet wind farm out there, and just to the left is Colne Point. There's a tiny bit of wind, so I think I'll get the sails up, just see if there's anything to help me along. Sails are up, and we're just about moving. A whole 0.6 knots. Here is the east cardinal for the Molliette wreck, and if you can see it, two little stumps, there's the wreck. We're skirting the edge of Mersea Flat, and it's getting a bit shallower. Number 10, Port Ham Buoy. So that's the entrance to Brightlingsea, and this is Mersea Stone on the west side of the river. And there is Bateman's Tower, and lots of colourful beach huts. Here's my trusty piece of bungee cord, my autopilot, kind of. Anyway, means I don't have to hold the tiller all the time. It's just fixed in an eye one side and the other, and one turn round the tiller. So quick and easy to adjust. I'm looking at the mud over there and wondering whether I could dry out there. I mean, obviously I'm 3 hours from high tide at the moment, so it's all going to get covered with water, but then by midnight it'll all be dry again. Anyway, so that's a possibility, somewhere over there on the east bank. This is Alresford Creek. I made it. That is a very small entrance to the creek. I'm not sure I'm going to risk that, at least not now. turned round and I'm trying to tack back to find somewhere to anchor, and I've just realised how strong the current is because I'm tacking and basically going nowhere. I might have to turn the engine on in a minute. I'm anchored the other side of the Colne from Alresford Creek. I've got about 3 hours till high tide, so I may have to adjust my position. I mean, I'm outside the channel, so I should be fine. It's just not sure how well. I'm probably going to dry out here and it might be a bit tippy. I might end up on a slope. Have to see as we go along. Sorry about the racket. I've decided to head back because it looks like it's going to be pretty windy tonight, and it's going to be really windy tomorrow morning at high tide, which is when I'd have to leave. It's getting up to like 4's 5, a bit more. To be honest, I just don't feel like that at the moment. So I thought I'll make a dash back out of the Colne and back home this evening. Anyway, so hopefully I'll be back in, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I've got a motor out of the Colne because I'm against the wind and the tide. I'll see what I can do when I get to the Blackwater.